Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and I'm delighted to see that we're featuring a puzzle today involving sandwich Sudoku and a chess constraint. So I think that our first two variant Sudoku apps were sandwich Sudoku and then chess Sudoku, although maybe Thermo came first, not entirely sure, but we have a lot of lovely apps, including those, and including the more recent classic Sudoku 2 and the Worms. So do check those out. They are all available on links in the description field, as is our Patreon site, where the month's reward is Duality 3, a brilliant pack by Skunkworks. Thank you so much to Riff Clown for curating it and creating the pack, as well as, of course, and pulling the pack together, as well as, of course, being a moderator on our Blueprint streams. We will be back there on Monday. Look out for it, and thank you so much to everyone who voted for us, so that we incredibly won the category of Thinky Games Content Creator of the Year. We've never won a prize like that before. We'll never do it again, but thank you so much if you voted for us. That's really kind. I never worked out how to vote myself. I suppose you can, in a perfectly gentlemanly fashion, vote for yourself in that sort of thing. But frankly, I hadn't watched most of the other 8 content creators nominated, so I couldn't have made an informed decision, except that I suspect we're not that good. Anyway, yeah, I love the comment from somebody saying we get balding man vibes from these two. Or no, it was bumbling old man vibes. That was I'm just inventing the balding man vibes for myself. Oh dear. Right, that is enough nonsense. So also on Patreon, we've got gridogram and connections and crossword videos. We do lots of cryptic crosswords there. So do check it out. But I'm going to go through the rules of this puzzle, and I'm going to welcome Duke as a constructor to the channel. This is called the Knight's Last Meal because it involves knights, moves, and sandwiches. Normal Sudoku rules apply: 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. In cages, digits can't repeat, and the cages all sum to the same number, which has to be deduced. We're going to have to work out what the cage total is. Cells separated by a knight's move in chess can't have the same digit. And Nighty McKnightface will sit in front of me to remind me when I forget. A clue outside the grid shows the sum of the digits sandwiched between the 1 and the 9 in that row or column. So in this column, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 27. So those are the rules. It's relatively straightforward for once. Let's hit the button and say, let's get cracking. You can try on the first link under the puzzle. And let's start with that 27 column. So if you ignore, well, first of all, there's a secret I can share with you. Every row, column, and box in a Sudoku adds up to 45. Amazing news. And if you didn't know it before, it is surprising, but it is just the facts, because 1 to 9 adds up to 45, and that's what's in every row, column, and box. So this column adds up to 45. If you ignore the 1 and the 9, which I shall call crusts for the purposes of the sandwich, don't write in, then the other digits have a maximum sandwich total of 35. And in this column, we've got a total of 27. That means that there is a number of cells that add up to 8 that are outside the sandwich and the crusts. I'm going to call them outies. And they're either a single 8 or a pair of digits. They can't be 3 digits because 1 is a crust. So there's either 1 digit outside the sandwich or 2. And what that means is that the crusts must be in boxes 3 and 9 for this column. And therefore, all of these cells in the middle, I'm going to colour green, which is a non-crust colour. It could be, well, they can't be outies in this case, but they are sandwich digits. And frankly, having done that, I don't really know why I've done it anymore. I thought that we were going to look at some of these sandwich rows and columns, and, well, I mean, obviously that is not, well, this is a crust, although it's in a row and column which don't have a sandwich clue. These are not crusts. That digit can't be a crust because in a 0 column, the 1 and the 9 must be next to each other. So that's not possible. This 11 row, no. Well, I was going to say the sandwich can't be 7, 3, 1. So we're going to have to confine the sandwich to the left or the right. But the answer is no, because the sandwich could be a 7 and a 4. Right, so I've taken the wrong tack entirely. Let's think about the cage totals. That's going to be better, I imagine, because I didn't get very far thinking about the sandwich sums. Oh, these cells can't have a... Thinking about the sandwich sums again, because I just said I wouldn't. These can't be in the sandwich, because they're, again, in this row, it's 1 and 9 next to each other. They can't both be here, or we'd have 3 reds in the box. That also in the column can't be a sandwich digit. I mean, this is not getting us very far. Let's think about the cage totals. We've got a 4-cell cage. Oh, we've got a 2-cell cage in a column with a 9 already in it. So that does have a useful maximum now. 8 and 7 makes 15. So the maximum for the cages, and they all add up to the same total, is 15. Now, can you do that without using a 1 in this cage with a 4 in it? I think the answer is yes, but only just. If it was 2, 3, 4, 5 or 2, 3, 4, 6, that's the only way to do it. Now, it couldn't be 2, 3, 4, 5. The sandwich in this column between the 1 and the 9 is going to be either a 2, 3 pair or a single 5. So if you put 2, 3, 4, 5 in the cage, that becomes impossible. However, to keep a 1 out of this cage, it would have to be 2, 3, 4, 6. But then, well, then let's think about what happens to the rest of the column, because 9 is now in one of these cells, and that's a crust. We can't have a 1 here because I've coloured it green. So it would have to go a 2, 3, 4, 6 quad, 9, 5, 1, and an 8, 7 pair here. Now, we would then have 9 and 5 here, an 8, 7 cage, because 15 would be the sandwich total if this is 2, 3, 4, 6. 9, 5 and 8, 7 is 29. Another 15 cage here is 44, and these 2 cells would have to add up to 1 to come to the 45 total for the box. That is not possible. I think what I've just proved is that there's a 1 in this cage. Let me try and... Oh, it's much simpler. Nighty McNightface is shouting at me, you can't put a 9 here, you numpty. Right, it's much simpler than adding up this cage total. You can't put 2, 3, 4, 5 here because you couldn't get a sandwich of the right sum into the column. You can't put 2, 3, 4, 6 here because you're not allowed to have 9 there. 9 here would force 1 there, which cannot be a 1. And 9 can't be in these cells. So there is a 1 in this cage. That's what we know first of all. That 1 is a crust. There's no way it's sitting up here, because how are you going to then sandwich a 5 in between 1 and 9, and only that? Impossible. So this is the 1. We've got a digit, and that is red. And the sandwich goes below it. That is the top crust. And now we can't have a 2-cell crust, or we'd get a clashing 9, a 2-cell sandwich, or we'd get a clashing 9 here. So I'm going to whack a 9 in there and the sandwich 5 in there. These two, oh, well, we don't know what the cage total is anymore. We were working on a hypothesis of 15 when we thought this was 2, 3, 4, 6. But we just don't have that. What we could do is add up the box now. Right, these two, let's call the cage total x. These 2 cages add up to 2x, which you'll be unsurprised to hear is an even number. Plus 15 there, we're on an odd number. This one must be even to make up the 45 cage. That's actually not very helpful. What does that leave? We take out 15, 17, 19, 21 or 23 from the cage total, and we're left with 22, 24, 26 or 28. Divide by 2, and the x, the cage total in this puzzle is either 11, 12, 13 or 14. It's not 11 because this 4-cell cage would have to be 1, 2, 3, 5, and it's not. So that takes 8 out of that cell. Is it 12? No, because that pair would have to add up to 7, but it can't be 1, 6, 2, 5 or 3, 4. So I'm taking 6 out of there. 13 or 14 for X. If it was 13, these two add up to 8 and are a 2, 6 pair. That's possible. I don't see why it's not. It might not be right, but I don't see why. If it's 13, these add up to 8. No, that's what I was just doing. If it's 14, these add up to 9, and they're either 2, 7 or 3, 6. So only the digits 2, 3, 6 and 7 are possible up here. Oh, I can't take 2 out of that because it could be 6, 2. Sorry. 8, I don't know. 8's down here somewhere. Don't forget the knight's move, says Nighty McKnightface, but I don't see how that's relevant here. What I do see, actually, is don't forget Sudoku. 9 and 9. One of these is a 9. A 9, I said. So there must be a 1 up here for this 0 clue. It can't be here by Sudoku. So one of these pairs is a 1-9 pair, and that digit is 1 or 9 and is a crust. And now the sandwich here can't be 3 cells, or that would be a crust, which it's not. So it's 2 cells, and it's either 2, 9, which it's not, 3, 8, or 6, 5. Now I can probably reduce that by one of the possibilities, but this was either 2, 6, 3, 6, or 2, 7. Oh, well, it's definitely not a 2, 7 pair now. So it's either 2, 6 or 3, 6. There's definitely a 6 in this pair. There's not a 7. Nearly know what's going on. Right, 1 and 9 are up here. I've got to get 1 and 9 into this column. This one, okay, this cage is either worth 13 or 14. Does it have a 1 in? The only way it doesn't is if it's a 14 cage containing 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the outies would be a single 8. Oh, look, 1 on the knight's move sees that cell. That's a 9. That's a 1. I mean, this is potentially worth doing. It doesn't tell me which of those is a 1. I don't think. I wonder if I'm missing some. Oh, there's a 1 there and a 1 here. One of these two is a 1. If that was a 1, because of the row, sandwich row, that would be a 9. This would be a 3 or a 4 to make up the cage total to 13 or 14. I don't know, that seems possible. I can't see why it's not. In this 7 row, I haven't thought about this one at all. These two, well, these are all green because we've had the 9 and 1 in the box. Actually, there's a lot more greening I could do from that point of view. There we go. Now, right, you can't put the 2 crusts there and there in this row because that digit would be a 7 and would clash. So one of the crusts now has to go over here. And the other one is up to 2 sandwich cells away. That one is not a crust. Okay, let's come back to the 27 column and think that through again. if this adds up to, I mean, yeah, okay, let's try it again on the idea that this is a 14 cage so that it doesn't have to have a 1 in it. This is 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the outie in the column is going to be an 8. 1 and 9 are going to be crusts, and 6 and 7 are going to be in the sandwich. They're going to be sandwich contents. I don't know. It does seem possible. Let's come back here. This cage is either 13 or 14. If it's 14, it's definitely an 8-6 pair, and that's going to sort out all of these. If it's 13, it can't be 8-5 or 4-9. Then it's 6-7. So there's always a 6 in this cage. And what haven't we used here? There's always a 3 in this cage. Is there always a 3 in this one? No, that could be a 6-2 pair. Right, there's always a 6 in this cage. No, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We've got a 0 clue in this column. Well, 9 can't be in any of those cells by knight's move. Oh, that's quite interesting. 1 can't be in either of those two. Is that interesting? It means that can't be the 1-9 pair, nor can this or this, because 9 can't be in any of them. Oh, what does that mean? Oh, 1 can't be in, this cell can't be green because it sees 9 by the knight's move and one of those as a 1, either horizontally or on the knight's move. This can't be green because none of these can be 9. This can't be green because neither of these two, sorry, it can't be a crust because neither of these can be 1. That also I meant couldn't be a crust. So this can't be a crust now because that can't be. And now we suddenly know that this digit is a crust because 1 and 9 have to be fitted into here. I think I'm right. That can't be, this can't be a crust because none of these cells can be 9, and this can't be a crust because it can't be either 9 or 1. That is right. Okay, so that digit is a crust. This one isn't. Those two add up to 7, and this is a crust, and that's not. And that's a 1-9 pair. Now, one of these is a crust, and none of these are crusts. This sees 1 and 9. Actually, so does this because of the knight's move. This is intriguing. I can't quite rule out this being 1 and 9 here. Okay, let's think about, I don't know what else I can think about. This column wasn't really doing the business, was it? Oh, maybe I can think about the restrictions here now. Has anything changed? Well, 7 and 8 are both down here. That's not changing anything, but I hadn't noticed it. One of these is 6 and one of those is 6, so one of these is 6. I don't know where that leaves me. These are all green. That's obvious. keep wanting to come back to the 27 column. Well, actually, this being green is quite interesting. That's just from counting the rows reds. It's whether this can be a 1. Maybe I could rule out this being a 1. If this was a 1, that would be a 9 on the knight's move. These would add up to 12 or 13, if I've got that right. And these would be the outies. If these are the outies, they add up to 8. The cage adds up to 13 or 14. That leaves 23 or 24 at the bottom. Oh, that's just doable again. Oh. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing now. I'm stuck. Right, let's think about this cage again. Oh, let's think about these in concert maybe. So if the cage total is 14, that's a 2. And in that circumstance, this is a 3-6 pair. So 2 would have to be there in the corner, and this would be 1. That's quite interesting. 2 would not be allowed to be there by knight's move. So if the cage total is 14, we're getting a 2 in the corner. Six 3 pair. So if the cage total is 13, we get a 4 here, 6, 7 there. That's 2, 3, 8. I think that's less constraining. Oh, well, that would be a 5, actually. So that would be a 6, and the cage total being 14 would make that 3. And again, I can't quite see why not. I can't get this. No, I've got to think of something cleverer. What am I doing wrong? You might know. I don't yet. Knight's move. Sandwiches. Killer cages. Something there is giving me more information and I'm unwilling to receive it. These are either 3, 8, 2 or 3, 7, 4. It's a slightly weird dichotomy. Oh, we've got a 7 in this row. That's what I'm missing, and it can't have a 5 in it. That is a 3, 4 pair. This digit is not a 3. Now, how's that going to help? It's going to do something, because it's so available, and so, well, 3 and 4 now can't be there or there by using the knight's move. It's not really the business, is it? How does this help? If that's a 3, that can't be a 3, and would have to be a 6. If that's a 3, it doesn't do so much down at the bottom. I don't know. Okay, this 27 cage. Right. If this was 2, 3, 4, 5, what would that do now? I feel like there's something. This can't be a 6. It's 2, 7, or 8. 3, 4 pair. What's it doing? Stopping either of those being 3 or 4, and either of these. Maybe that's interesting. I don't think it is, because if you wanted to get 3 and 4 into this cage, that's fine. One is there, and the other one can be in one of these cells. Okay, that has not got me anywhere. Wow. I'm missing some huge clue. For this to be a 1, that's a 9. This is 3 or 4. For this to be a 1, then we've got a 1-9 pair somewhere along here. If that was a 1 or a 9, then that's going to be a 1 or a 9, and this is going to be the 8 outie. Then that is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, if this is 2, 3, 4, 5, that has to be a red cell. And then one of these is the other red cell. And that digit would be 6 or 8. I think that's all right. I can't see why it's not. Right. I've got to come up with some new strategy here. Even though I found that 3, 4, it hasn't resolved anything. That was the 7. This is the 11. We've done the 5. The zeros are all in hand. And we're working on this 27. One of these is red. And one of these is red. Either that's a red 9 or that's a red 1. I can't see why either of those are a problem. There might be something going on there, but I cannot tell what it is. This cage is just going to be a result of fallout from here. 5. Can't be in those cells. Wow, well, I mean, I'm almost having to apologize for just not being able to see what I should be seeing. Four there. If that was a 4, one of those two would be 4. It's just not, there's nothing obviously interesting popping up is my issue here. I can't see how I'm meant to make any progress. Got 9, 1, 1. It's normally the sandwich clues that are holding a bit more. Oh, maybe I haven't thought about, I haven't thought about this cage. Maybe I haven't thought enough about this cage. What if it's not 1, 9? And there's all sorts of ways for it to add up to 13 or 14. X is 13 or 14. If that was a 1, this would be a 1. That would be a 9. There'd be a 1 here somewhere. No, it's definitely much more interesting if it's not a 1, because then we know 14 is the sum. This is 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 6, 8 pair. That's a 2. That's 5. If 14 is the thing, this is a 3, 6 pair. So then we're going 2, 9, 1. Got 2, 7, 8 down here. Oh, well, that doesn't work. What? So I started with if this is a 14 cage. Right, here's why it doesn't work. If that's a 14 cage, it contains 6, 8. But the sum of the box is 28, 38, 43. That has to be a 2. But if this is 2, 6, 8, the 14 sum is going to keep 2 out of this cage. And now suddenly these cells need to contain 2 and 1 and 8, and there's only 2 of them. So it's not a 14 sum. That is quite complicated, Duke. Nice deduction. That is now 6, 7. This adds up to 13. We add up the whole box and we get 4 here. This, 13 is now the sum of the cages, and that digit is a 1. That is the conclusion. Yeah, that is the conclusion. Oh, well, this is huge. This is huge. We're going to get lots done now. maybe especially using the knight's move. 2, 3, 8, we get rid of the 3 from there. Let's just remove the corner marks. This pair adds up to 8 now. It is 2 and 6. We can just fill them in. This is part of an 11 sum, so it's 5. This is now a 1-7 pair. That's all it can be. This is a 3-8 pair. This is a 2-1 pair down here. This is a 3-7-8 triple. This is a 4-5-6 triple. Now, nothing's really changed down there. What about this row? Not really, but something's changed somewhere now in what we're doing. Right, these digits are 2, 3, 4, and 8 in this row. Ah, yes, this changed, didn't it? We got the other crust because we can only have a maximum 2 outies, and those 2 have to add up to 8. So they don't include 8 or 4, they include 2 and 3, or 2 or 3 and 5 or 6. And if they add up to 8 and this cage adds up to 13, that's 21, 30, these are an 8-7 pair. Now, 1 sees that by knight's move. Now we can write a 9 into the central box, and there's a 1 in one of those cells. Everything else in those rows is green. Yeah, just keep going. We've got, those are going to add up to 8. And apart from that, no, we've got the 1, 9. Where's the 9 in this row? It's not there because it would not touch another red cell. So it's got to be here. And its red cell is here in this cage. We know the cage adds up to 13, so we can fill in a 3 there. This digit seems to have become a 2. That's not 3. Now, but also by knight's move, that's not a 3. This is a 3. That's a 7-8 pair. Don't forget the knight's move mark. Now, we're going along fine, but we've still got work to do. There's a 9 in one of those cells. Sudoku work to do. Right, that 3-4 pair both sees that cell. So that can't be a 3. And we know those can't, so there is a 3 in this box in one of those. There's a 3 in this box in one of those. That's an X-wing on 3s, putting a 3 in one of, but those positions both see that cell, so that's a 2. And the 3 that I'm just claiming has to be in this row in box 3 is in one of those. That 2 is part of an 8 outie combo, so that's a 6. This box now, the cage now contains 3, 4, 5. 13 sum is fine. That digit can't be a 4. Right, there's a 3 in one of those cells. I still keep wanting to do sandwich, but I've done all the sandwich work. There's nothing else to do on the sandwich. It's the killer cages. Yes, I've still got to make this cage add up to 13. It's not 9, 4 now. This digit can't be a 6, so if it's 7, 6, we know the order. This digit can't be a 5 because of this 3, 4, 5 triple. So if it's 8, 5. I wonder if I'm missing a point there as well. 3, 4, 5, 9, 1. Yeah, I feel like that is going to... Oh, there's a 3 in one of these cells by Sudoku. 3 and 3, and that's 7, 8 pair. What's that doing? Stopping these being 3, and that one can't be 2. 2 might be there or in one of these two. Don't know. The 3, 4 pair, are they seeing somewhere else that I just can't get a handle on? Oh, look, 9 sees that digit, so I can place 9 in box 3. That places 9 in box 2. That's all the 9's done, I suppose. Yeah, can't argue with that. I can put a 1 in box 1, and that digit is 7. I don't know why I'm... that's fixed this cage. This has to be a 5 with an 8 here. That 8 sees both of these cells, so puts 8 there in row 2. That's a 3-4 pair. This is 7, this is 8. I could colour those if I was going to carry on colouring. I mean, we're nearly done with the colouring. Those are green. That can't be a 1 by a knight's move. I should have seen that ages ago. Don't know if it would have helped. Can't seem to resolve the last one, but I can colour those green. Okay, so that's now a 3. That's an 8. This is a 3 surrounded by a 4-5 pair that are not resolved by knight's move. This is a 6-2 pair that are resolved by knight's moves on both sides. This now can't be a 6. 3, 7, 6, 9, 1. We've got 2, 4, 5, 8 there, and all of those cells see this one, which is therefore 6 or 7. But in a row with a 7-8 pair, that's a 6. That's going to give me 6 either there or there, and that's going to prevent this being a 6 by ordinary and knight's move. So we get a 7 there. That looks at this cell. That looks at this one. Now that's an 8. And this sees a 6 and a 5. That's a 4. That's quite a big deal because we get a few other digits. 5 and 6 in the corners, as far as I can see. Neither of those are a cheeky 3. Now, 1 and 2 still to place in the box. 2, 4, 5, 7. Right, 7, not resolved by knight's move somehow. This is a part of a 2, 4, 5 triple. They don't see anywhere interesting together. This row, though, 5, 6, 1, 3, 4, 9. This digit can't be 2, and this digit can't be 8. How about this box then? 8, 9, 3, 4, 5. 7 is in one of those 2. These are from 1, 2, 6. That can't be 6. We need a 2 in this row, though, and that sorts out this 1, 2, 6 pair. That's a 1, 6 pair. This is a 2, 7 pair. Can't believe none of these are done by knight's move, but they're not. That can't be a 5, so it's also 1 or 6. Sometimes you'd think that couldn't be a 1 or 6 from a deadly pattern point of view, but not in a... In fact, knight's move Sudoku sees this. That's 1, that's 6, that's 1. Right, those 2 are red, these 2 are green. This could still be a 6, I just don't know. Doesn't have to be because of the knight's move, that's my point. Anyway, we don't use uniqueness, so I'm not talking about that today. 9, 8, 3, 6, 1. This sees a 4 in one of those cells, a 2 there. Does it see 5 or 7? Not sure. That can't be 8. 1, 4, 9, 8. Oh, 6 in this row can only be there, apparently. That's good. 3 sees that cell. 3 also sees this cell. So this row 4 is very handily done. If I was just able to spot my Nighty McKnightface moves in that row, I'd be home free. That's a 3. 3, 9, 7. That sorts out 4, 3, 4 there. And this is a 3. And we do get a little deadly pattern. But it must have been resolved by night. No. I've done something wrong there. I've done something badly wrong. Let's just go back a bit to here. That's a 2. Let's see if I agree with myself on that. Oh yeah, it sees a 3, so it is a 2. No, that's what I did wrong. That's what I did wrong. I should have put 7 there and 3 here, and that makes that 4, 3, 4. That's much better. 2 there. 8, 7. This is 3. 2, 5, 8 across the middle. The 8 must be here. This can't be a 5 by knight's move, so it's a 2. That's going to sort out all sorts of things. That's a 5, that's a 7. Could do the 5 and the 4 at the top, and then come back down here. It was suddenly almost completely finished. 6 and 5, 6, 5, 4. What a lovely puzzle. And the knight gets to eat his last meal. Beautiful stuff by Duke, and a fun puzzle to do this evening. Please come back and join us for more tomorrow. We'd love to have you with us again for another evening meal, perhaps. See you then. Bye for now.